What's up, everybody? It's your guy, Ike Jones. We are live here. It is finally game day. Time to get this thing started. Auburn versus Alabama A&M. The kickoff to year 2 under Coach Hugh Freeze. Hopefully, everybody's doing all right. Make sure you're doing the necessary if you're out there in the land of Twitter and Facebook. Share the content with somebody out there and then hashtag get your weight up just to let us know that you're here, man, and you are with us. We appreciate y'all for jumping in here. It's time to get straight to it, man. I ain't gonna be doing a whole bunch of crazy talk. I want to hear from y'all. How are y'all feeling this game day? We're finally here. How are you feeling about the game today? Is Auburn going to go the way of Texas and Oklahoma, the teams that came out there, handle business? Missouri versus their FCS opponents, are they going to be like South Carolina right now, who's struggling with ODU, right? Cal, who has a 1-point lead into half in their game. Which of these is going to be the story for Auburn today? We will find out in just about 30 minutes until kickoff, right down there on the plains in Jordan Hare Stadium. You got Ike Jones in here. And it's time, man. It's football time. Hopefully everybody's doing well today. You got your orange on. You see your boys sporting the orange shirt. I got the alternate blue with the orange on today. Repping. I was gonna go be down there at the game today, but somebody has to handle the game day responsibility. Somebody got to come kick it with the fam here virtually. So I decided to do that for y'all today. Hopefully y'all are having a good time wherever you are, finding a way to enjoy the game. And for the next 30 minutes, we're just gonna have fam conversation about final expectations before the game. No additional craziness happening. As far as injuries are concerned, the only person who is being held out of today's game fully is Alex McPherson, which does mean that they are expecting for Keys to be available to play, as well as Keontae Scott. So neither of those guys are being held out of the game. I do think they're going to be on a restriction, though. And how quickly, the question is that everybody wants to know, is Auburn going to get off of the starter and onto the backups and let the second unit get in there and get some action today? I saw some teams that were out there allowing their starters to play late into the third quarter, even though they had big leads. I was surprised by that. So, I know everybody wants to get some good game action for their starters in week one, but I don't know how much is worth it risking injury if you're just feeling like, if you're up 40 points in the third quarter, like, man, just, hey, put the backups in and let them get some play out there. Maybe they don't have backups that they're as excited about as the Auburn fans and coaching staff are excited about the second level or the second unit of guys out there for Auburn. So we'll see. We will see. Again, all the questions, all the speculations, all that's done. We're not speculating no more. It's time to get it and make it happen out here on the field. And hopefully Auburn is ready to do that. I still expect, I just said all the speculations are done, but I'll tell you my expectations. I still expect for Auburn to be a run dominant team today. I think they're going to go out there and try to control the line of scrimmage. And they're going to throw the ball, but I think it's going to be a situation where they want to control the line of scrimmage and make sure that they dominate up front to let them know it's not a game out here. But the question I have is, what are your score predictions? Let's go ahead and start throwing some score predictions out there. I see a couple of people already in here throwing theirs into the chat. What do you expect the final score to be today? Looking at this chat here, I see quite a few people have already put some score predictions. I'm going through scanning to find those for y'all. Yep, I see. Here we go. They're rolling in now. All right, let's get to these score predictions that you guys have out here. Y'all aren't giving A&M a chance to score. Nobody's giving them more than 13 so far. I'm not mad at it. Listen, I don't want them to score more than 10. So listen, I'm with y'all. I told y'all I'm in full book mode this year, man. I'm every game until they prove otherwise. Auburn's got a chance to go out here and blitz the other team, and we're gonna see it happen. All right. Thank you to those of you who have joined today. For those that don't know how game day goes, this is the first game day situation. How game day goes 30 minutes prior to kickoff. We're here live with you talking about the game. We'll have a lot more kind of break down stuff in the next game because we will have seen a game from the other team. So we'll have statistics of what that team did in the last game and all that kind of stuff. We'll be able to look at those things information wise, and we'll probably have some more game day reports and things of that nature to bring to you. But halftime, that is Green Name Gang exclusive. You are not part of Green Name Gang. You will not be able to be on the halftime chat, but we will be right back here. YouTube only. For those of you who are watching on Facebook right now, only on YouTube, we will be going live and only for the Green Name Gang. Y'all can get in here and we can do kind of a halftime analysis, what we saw in the first half, expectations going out there into the second half. And then post game, that's for everybody. But for my Facebook folks, we're only going to be on YouTube, and that will be a subscriber only chat. So if you're not subscribed, you won't be able to get in on the post game. So, yeah, so that's how game day goes for this year, and we reserve the right to make changes to that at any point in time. If I see like, hey, it's too much trolling going on, because I want to create a troll-free environment for our people who are supporting Auburn to be out there and give that support to our guys. And I want the conversation to be focused on Auburn and not a bunch of other people in here trying to tell me what they think about their team. Because for right now, we don't care about your team. But all right, so I'm gonna look here and see what we got for a lot of these score predictions. My guy War Eagle, as my guy JC says, 54-9, giving up 3 field goals today in the game. 52-10 says DeMario. So similar score. 54. I like 54. That's a 56-10. All right. Let me see who I'm trying to see who gives Auburn the most points. The biggest I've seen so far is a couple of 63s. Is Auburn going to score 63? Let's see if anybody is putting a bigger number up on the board than 63 today. 72. Thomas Payne feels 72-24. I ain't feeling that other score on the opposite side of that, Thomas. I ain't going to hold you. But 70, but that's a big enough deficit that I ain't mad at it. If you guys, we talked about this, I think yesterday on our office hours, the line for this game changed, right? So it went up to a higher deficit. I don't know what intel they got over from Wednesday when we previewed it till Friday, but they were like, yeah, put a couple more on the board. Was it because of how much the FCS opponents had gotten spanked on Thursday? They were like, oh, yeah, man, these teams are out here to prove something. So, I ain't going to hold y'all. I know we talking Auburn, but Cal is out here looking straight cheeks against UC Davis, fam. Straight up cheeks. We gonna talk about that game for sure. I am going to record that game so we can do some watch the film. Oh, other things for those that are new to the channel and you haven't known, we do a watch the film session, which is again members only. Usually doing that on Monday or Tuesday after the game. So after the A&M game is over with, we'll do our reactions. Sunday we'll do our tailgate where we will react to all the games from the weekend, and we will have some what did we see segments. So y'all already know, if you're not familiar with what did we see, it's us giving our candid reactions to all things around the world of sports. Doesn't have to be college football, but we will definitely have some college football takes for y'all tomorrow on what did we see. Trust me, because I have been watching games today and I got some things to say. But yeah, so we're gonna talk about that on what did we see. But then Monday we'll be in here and we'll be looking at the film. So we're going to basically rewatch, if not the entirety, the vast majority of the game again, but we'll be doing some film breakdowns, looking to see what happened that went well, what things Auburn could have done better. So you guys make sure that you tap in with that on Monday or Tuesday. Kind of depends on how my schedule rolls, but that will likely be an afternoon thing. For my Green Name game, we'll be getting it in on the afternoon on Monday or Tuesday coming up this week. Post game this year, it'll be more so in the afternoons instead of the midday stuff that I was doing last year. But anyway, but yeah, so that's kind of how we roll over here on the War Rapport. For those that are uninitiated, I appreciate y'all jumping in here. But yeah, so everybody's expecting a blowout. I think the biggest deficit I see has been like 66 points. So got a couple of people predicting shutouts today. I am not in the shutout camp. I do think that A&M is going to score. I just don't think they're going to score very much. Let's see. War Dank Eagle, I'm gonna jump in here and grab yours. You said that, oh, this is in response to what Nina says. I hope we do look crazy, but in a really good way. Let me go find what Nina said to prompt that statement. So Nina says, I just hope we don't look crazy. Listen, man, listen, there's a couple of teams out here that I question whether or not they were going to be any better this season. And a couple of people answered the bell on that, right? Vandy actually looks better this year. Diego Pavia is the real deal at quarterback. He is out there really making some stuff happen. And they were able to get the win. What you call it? Virginia Tech looked terrible today. Like, just there were very few things about what I liked about what Virginia Tech was deploying offensively. Anyway, we're not getting into that game. That ain't got nothing to do with our game. I'm gonna stay off of that. But Virginia Tech did not look good today offensively, and Vandy still almost gave that game away. So, but yeah, they looked better. They answered the bell today. They look like they're going to be all right. Florida, nah, nah. It's going to be a long season in Gainesville. It's going to be a long season. Now, I mean, I think Miami's a better team this year, but Florida didn't even really put up a fight. So yeah, it's gonna be a long season there. Um, South Carolina right now, not looking too much better. They looking kind of like what you thought they would be. I don't know what to make of that Missouri game because it was just so like they went for it on fourth down in their own territory. Whoever that was, they played Murray State went for it in fourth down in their own territory early in the game. They had an early like turnover. Like it was just like, bro, what are y'all doing, man? Are y'all even trying out here? So they was up 21-0 with like 5 minutes into the game. Like just they back to back scores. So I'm like, is Missouri just really? I mean, not that Murray State's good, but like, is Missouri like that? Like that? So again, it's difficult to know what you're going to get on this. Tennessee looked good today. There's a lot of teams that handle business today, but is Auburn going to be one of those teams that's able to handle business? That's the question that we have to ask. Has Peyton Thorne taken that next step in the control of his offense and his ability? So I went back. My guy James Barnett mentioned this on Office Hours yesterday. He was like, "Man, I don't really know if Brady Cook lived up to the hype this offseason that he was getting." And, he was like 63% on like 30 throws in the first half of that game, threw for 200 and something yards. And I went back and looked at the game. And he was missing some open throws. Like he had a couple of deep shots that he should have hit to the receivers that were open, that he had opportunities to make an even bigger day for himself. And he did not do that. So is Peyton Thorne going to be able to take advantage of the fact that, yes, this is clearly a more talented, more athletic Auburn team this season? He should have one-on-one opportunities that are going to be available to him. Can he be efficient in his game? Can he go out there and make the adjustments at the line of scrimmage? Is the offensive line going to be able to protect well enough for Peyton Thorne to go out there and operate cleanly? That's really what you want to see in the first game. Can your offense be clean? Can they operate with few mistakes on mental stuff? No pre-snap penalties, no silly holdings on plays where you should have gotten a big play, no missing wide open receivers down the field, none of that stuff. You want to see clean operation that allows you to just efficiently move the ball down the field when you clearly have the more athletic, more talented team. Don't give them hope like Cal is doing right now with UC Davis. They are into the third quarter only up by 1 point, right? A team continues to get hope, then they continue to believe, hey, we're in striking distance. We can make this happen. And then you get tight on your sideline and you start making uncharacteristic stuff on your end. Go out there and handle the business, man. So looking forward to seeing how Auburn answers the bell in this one and just comes out. And I want to see a dominant and clean game on both sides of the field, right? I want to see assignment sound. I talked about this a little bit maybe some weeks ago about the first 3 games are really good preparation for what you're going to see week 4 versus Arkansas, because you have a couple of quarterbacks that can threaten you with their legs and their arms. You got dual threat guys. So the day you're going to see a dual threat guy. Next week versus Cal, you're going to see a dual threat guy, which they're still trying to figure out their quarterback situation right now in Cal in this first game. They've been shuffling quarterbacks so far. In week 3 versus New Mexico, you are going to see a dual threat guy, right? So you're going to see a person who can be off schedule and make some plays happen with their legs, which will prep you for what I believe is a better athletic array all the way across the board for Arkansas. So it starts today in your ability to be disciplined, make sure that that quarterback is able to stay inside the pocket. Your rush lanes are going to be where they need to be, and you are making the plays that are necessary to keep your defense or keep their offense off schedule and get your defense off of the field quickly. They're not extending drives, extending plays with like miraculous scramble and all that kind of stuff. Be disciplined out there, read your keys, and then go out there and tackle effectively in space, because that's what this defense is going to demand. It's going to demand tackling in space. And how well are our guys equipped to go out there and do that this year? We're going to find out very quickly about who this offense and who this defense is, because we have a team, I think, that's going to challenge in some very unique ways. Again, that will give you a look ahead. But all of that, I think, is leading up to a matchup against Arkansas, who is going to be, I've always already said, I think Arkansas is going to be better than people expect them to be this season. I still think that Auburn should win that football game as of right now. I haven't seen Auburn play, but my expectations is Auburn should win that football game. But they're going to have really 3 good tune-ups leading into that game. So looking forward to seeing what's happening over there with that game. Let's see. Let's get back over here into the chat. We are about 15 minutes until the scheduled kickoff. Y'all know they don't ever kick off right on time, but 15 minutes until the scheduled kickoff. And see what you guys are talking about in the chat. Headsets in Tuscaloosa already screwed up. This has actually been a thing, right? So one of the things that I thought was interesting, and I don't recall who said this, but the helmet communications being actually a problem for the defense at home. Right, because the offense is trying to hear their signals, but the defense is also trying to hear their own signals, and the crowd noise may impact the ability for the defensive coordinator to communicate via the headset to their defense, right? Because the home team's crowd's trying to make a bunch of noise. So whether or not that's going to happen, and how effectively Coach Hugh Freeze talked about like all the different things he's got on his belt. He's trying to switch to this and listen in on that and blah, 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 this and this. How seamless do they have this communication, and how much are they going to lean on that headset communication, right? So really, if it should, I'm hoping the headset communication is primarily just going to be Coach Nix talking to the quarterback, right? So there's not a multiplicity of voices in there. Coach Freeze is really just listening in to say, okay, this is what we're in, and then waiting to see how they line up and say, ho, wait a minute, let's get out of this, let's go to da, right? But let Derek Nix be the initial voice and clarity in that communication so that we can move quickly with that. And then make sure that you have some sort of backup way to communicate in case you can't hear things, or, something's going wrong with the communication process there within the helmets. Conversely, on the defensive side, how are they going to deal with the home crowd noise, right? Like, have they, I feel like I remember hearing them talk about this at some point in time, but how are they going to deal with home crowd noise for your defense not being able to hear very well and communicate in the headset? What's the process for getting that communication out and disseminated in case they can't hear it? Particularly if a team is trying to go tempo, can you really relay that information quickly? That's going to be something that's interesting to watch today, how they deal with that new technology that's out there. Let's see here. What else do we got out here? Please, no offensive line penalties killing conversions. I agree with this 100%, JC. I want to see the guys go out there, operate cleanly. A lot of people asking about this hat. This was a hat that I got from a shop that was set up out there before A-Day, that was there outside of the stadium. So I couldn't even tell you where to go get this mug. I just know where I got it from. And of course, that was a pop-up shop, so it's not like it's just always there. Tim Toolman says 275 rushing. Is that how many yards you would like to see Auburn have today? I want to see more than that, baby. I want to see like 400. I ain't even gonna hold you. I want to see him like really, really beat down. Exclusive TV. Man, hold on, man. Man, put an APB out for my guy Imani, man. I hope everything is all right, man, because Imani used to come in here with the extreme book, and I haven't seen him pop up in a while. But exclusive TV, 100 to nothing, which is crazy. That's crazy. Like not putting up 100 points. If they put up 100 points, man, then I don't even know, man. If Auburn scores 100 points today, I will give away 10 memberships to the War Rapport. 10 memberships to the War Rapport if Auburn scores 100 points today. Hold me to that. At some point this week, I'm gonna do that. Um, Teresa asks, "What's that's what was happening to UTSA? They won, but it was getting scary." UTSA, who did they play today? I didn't even pay attention to that. Um, TK thinks Hank Brown makes his mark in the second half of that game. I hope so. I hope Auburn is up enough where the second half they can just put in the second string and go crazy, right? Like that's what I want to see. Let's see here. What else do we have? You guys doing? Appreciate everybody who hopped in here. We're about like 250 strong. Chris Doring said UF wins by double digits. Did he really say that? He thought that Florida was going to win by double digits against Miami? In what universe? Like even before this game started, like I was not, nah, fam. No. I picked Miami in this game, in fact, right? Like, so that's not just me playing revisionist history after seeing the game. No. Yeah. Mike Davis says Missouri was running trick plays up by 4 touchdowns. They didn't look good at all. Like the Missouri game was just weird, man. Like I don't feel like Missouri beat down Murray State as much as Murray State was just overmatched in that game. And that's why I'm not gonna overreact to an Auburn beatdown in this game. If Auburn really goes out there and handles business, good, you did what you're supposed to do. I want to see how it happens, right? Like is it fluke stuff, right? Where they're making bad decisions and going for it on fourth down at their own 30 and crap like that and don't get it. And then you have a short field. Like what's happening? What's the composition? Did you really dominate the game or was there fluky stuff that was happening in there? Right. So, but I do want to see a dominant football game on the scoreboard, but I want to feel like Auburn dominated in the game as well, because you do have the depth and the athleticism to be able to go out there and dominate in this game. Let's see here. Ant thinks that Hank throws for 200 yards today. So in one half of, or really, he probably is going to get. Here's a question for y'all. How many drives do you think Hank Brown gets today? How many drives is he going to be able to get to today? That's a question I want to ask y'all in our last 8 minutes here. How many drives does Hank Brown get? Super chat here from Stephen Neely. Appreciate that. Loud and proud, Ike. Bada get a, bada get a, bada get a, ba. Rah, rah, rah. Sis, boom, ba. Wiggle, wiggle. War damn eagle. Kick him in the butt, big blue. Hey. Yes, indeed, Stephen. I got you. I got you. Hopefully y'all was in front of y'all phones or computers or TVs doing that exact thing right there with me. If y'all weren't, then I might need to hold your Auburn fandom card. I might need to hold you supposed to make people in the house/room with you feel uncomfortable right there in that moment. So if you didn't do that, rewind it back and do it again. All right. But let's see here. How many drives though? Let me see. We got Hank gets 2 drives. Sean says 3, maybe 4 drives. I think 2 is too few. I think he needs to get more than 2 drives in this game. I think you need to dominate to the point where he at least I'm gonna go ahead and put mine out there while y'all are getting y'all's in the chat. I think Hank Brown gets at least 4 drives today. 4 drives of football, because I think the second half is going to start to come around a little bit more quickly for both teams. And they're going to be getting on and off the field a little bit more quickly on defense. And I think if Peyton Thorne and that first unit do what they need to do, their work is done by halftime, early third quarter, right? And so that allows Hank Brown to get into the game second drive of the third quarter, and he'll be able to lead 3 or 4 drives going into the middle of the fourth quarter, and then hand it over to whomever they bring in as the third quarterback. That's what my expectation is today, and that's what I want to see, because that means that Auburn's dominating the way that they should be against this opponent. But let's see what else y'all think. Wade Lewis thinks Hank gets at least 5 possessions, which means that it's going to be a real early day for Peyton Thorne. That's a Jackson Arnold was the one who I saw. Jackson Arnold and Quinn Ewers today. Quinn Ewers was playing like deep into the third quarter. I was like, why y'all are up by like 40 points? Why is your starter still in here, man? Um um Apparently TJ Finley threw a pick recently because I see some people reacting to that. Benji Hank gets 5 drives. Ant Robinson thinks 6 drives. TK says a quarter and a half, however many drives that equates to. Gotcha. Um, Super chat here from Mercy, who says Cal's only winning by 1 point against UC Davis in the third quarter. Next week's game shouldn't be close. I agree with you. Again, I have yet to see Auburn play, but there's no reason I think that that game should be. I didn't think it was going to be close before I saw Cal play a game today, right? And so Auburn needs to come out here, handle business, get everybody healthy into that next game, and be able to make sure you come out here and leave no doubt against Cal this year. None of that mess that happened last year over in Cal. Go out here and leave no doubt. All right, we got about 5 minutes until kickoff. I'm going to get out of here in just a minute because I need to get myself prepared to watch this game and insulate myself from a lot of foolishness. And then I need to get the multi-screen going so I could be watching our game plus the other games that are going on during the same time frame. But before y'all get out of here, make sure that you are liking this video. Another shout out to the hat. Appreciate that very much. Again, I couldn't even tell you where to get one of these because I got this at a pop-up shop when I was down there at Auburn, but I appreciate all the love for the hat. It is one of my favorite Auburn hats. I got quite a few Auburn hats now. That's like a thing. People just like to give me hats now. So if y'all see a dope hat you want me to rock on here, if there's a company out here that's doing, there was a company that was doing some hats I tried to get to I was gonna buy the hats and they just never, you know what I'm saying, hit your boy back up. That's all right. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gotta spend my money with y'all. Anyway, but yeah, dope hats, man. I accept all of that because I would rock them faithfully. I'm a hat guy. But yeah, so again, we got about 4 minutes now until it's time for kickoff. Hopefully everybody is in a good place, ready to watch game 1 of the second year of the Hugh Freeze era in Auburn. Second year with Peyton Thorne, final year for a lot of guys, particularly a guy like Jarquez Hunter, his final season on the Plains. I am looking forward to this. Hopefully y'all are looking forward to it as well. But yeah, I'm about to get out of here so I can get myself prepped. Again, Green Name Gang, halftime. We'll be right back in here with y'all reacting to the first half of the game. And hopefully we'll have a good time in here with our halftime reaction. And then post game, everybody come back and join us. And we will be in here reacting to what happened Auburn versus A&M. I'm out of here. I will holler at y'all at halftime, but y'all have a wonderful first half of the game. War Eagle, peace.